If you're using Unity and you have a bunch of buttons that you're controlling with a joystick and you want them to play a sound when you swap between them, let's get you started. So here's the very basics. We want to have an audio clip for the sound, an audio source to play the sound, we want to know where the event system is, and we want to know what the last selected game object is. Inside of update, we're going to make sure that the current selected object is not the last one that was selected, and if that's true, we want to double check that the current selected object is not nothing, and then we want to play the sound one shot, so that way if we switch between buttons, it'll finish that sound. Then we're going to set the last selected game object to the current selected object on the event system. Let's see what that looks like. And it plays the sound whenever it gets first selected, in this case, when it starts. If you don't want it to play a sound when it starts, let's fix that. You might be thinking that we can just add a start function and set the last selected game object to the current selected game object. So that might be a good approach to try to get it to be fixed, but unfortunately it does not work. Somewhere how the event system works and the update function aren't aligned, so it still plays that sound before it changes the selection. So in this case, I decided to make a boolean called skip first sound, and this is going to skip just that first time it plays. In order to implement that, I started it off as true. Inside of the function, I first checked to make sure that the current selected object is not the last one. I also checked to make sure that it's not null, and if we did not skip that first sound, I play the sound. Otherwise, this is the first time we're playing it, and then I just change that variable to false. So that way now, from now on, it is going to be false, and it is going to play that sound. As you can see here, once it's selected, it does not play the sound. However, it does on the next button selections. This does not work for clicking a button multiple times. It does work for the first time you click on it. But if you click on it multiple times, it does not account for that. So mouse clicks will be a little bit separate. You can just put that onto the button on click event. You can just place a play sound there if you like. But this tutorial is more about the controller input, changing the buttons and making the sounds happen then. And that's all there is to it. Have fun with it.